Mr. Chancellor, sir, the ministers present, Ndugu Ruhakana Rugunda, our senior elder, let me follow the protocol as earlier outlined. But before I go any further, as the world of academia, we've lost two very important people, and one of them was the vice chairperson of the University Council here at King Ceasor University, Madam Elizabeth Gabona, a senior educationist. And just the other day, the academic world lost one of the directors of the university. That is Mr. Rajiv Pareria, director at Victoria University. I request we stand up and observe a minute of silence in their honor. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Thank you. I'm glad to be here once again to witness the great achievements made by this great institution, from humble beginnings now shaking the world. I want to congratulate you, King Ceasor, and the entire management of this great institution, and the students and the parents. Congratulations. To our graduates, I know most of you are not even listening to these speeches because it's your day. I know I was twice a graduate. You know, you're counting down and you're like, man, what are these people doing? I just need to have my day. They confer my degree on me, and that's why we use a trick of graduating you after we've spoken. Because we know if you receive your degrees earlier, you run away to celebrate and you leave us here alone. So what we are doing is a prescription. It's like medicine. Whether you like it or not, you must be here to listen to us before you run away. But we congratulate you, and we shouldn't be taking long to let you achieve your biggest dreams. In a special way, I want to thank the management of the university for taking seriously the requirements of the regulator. I know when we were beginning it was painful, but you see, the requirements of the regulator are like medicine. If you've ever taken quinine, you know, they reached an extent of even having that sugar-coated one because you need it. So, Professor Kwako, Professor Okuro, I want to thank you for your consistency and for being tough, because we are now reaping the benefits as a university. I really want to wholeheartedly thank you. And now where we've reached, I mean, the progress is now much better. Much, much better. I want to thank King Ceasor for the generosity, the investment, and for the faith you put in directors, members of the Board of Trustees and the Council. Because meeting the requirements of the regulator is extremely expensive. And university education is not a business. The moment you go into university education thinking you're going into a business, you've gotten it wrong from the beginning. Go and build apartments. University education is transformative. You know, it is for changing society. You're contributing to society. So you've done your part, and I believe where the university has reached now, with the quality assurance which Dr. Charity, the Vice Chancellor, has emphasized, I'm very, very sure this university won't be limited even by the sky. The dream of King Ceasor, which I know that he has, he might be even planning to build a faculty on Mars. And we shall be there to support you. Let us now invest more in upholding what we have achieved in terms of quality assurance. When we do that, we shall attract even the most brilliant brains across the globe, like the professors we're seeing here. It's because of the quality assurance that we've now put in place, and I'm very sure the moment we keep it up, very soon this is going to be the best university in East Africa. Very few universities are in the middle of the city, having over 27 acres in the middle of the city. Can tell you, if you told very many investors here, they would say, no, this is suitable for a hotel, suitable for apartments, you know. So they drive to change society. They drive to help the needy, which King Ceasor has had, and the family. We must support it as a government. We must support it as a community so that they touch more lives. It's a way, by the way, King Ceasor, you're doing the job of government. You know, you're doing the work of government. So, as a government, we shall give you all the necessary support to ensure that you keep complimenting us in our work. Now I request you to invest more in groundbreaking research, more in innovation. Because the problems we have are unique to us, and they will need unique solutions. Yesterday we had the malaria run, and the Deputy Ambassador of China told us how a few years back they had a problem of malaria. He said they had the biggest problem of malaria in the world. They would have 30 million cases per year. So, out of those problems, they ended up inventing Coatem. This Coatem we've been using here all the time was invented by China because of the problems they were facing as a counter solve their problem. Now they no longer have malaria. So why should they invest more in developing new Coatem? It will be us, Uganda, it will be us, Africa, who have our own burdens that are not anywhere in the rest of the world. If you go to the Western world and you have malaria, they quarantine you. But here, if you say you have malaria, we say, take Coatem and go to work. The other part of the world is quarantine. What's that? Is it a pandemic? You're becoming a problem? You know? So, we must now work with the universities. You must invest more, but we as a government must also invest more. I'm happy Honorable Yomunsi, who guides the nation, is here. Our partners who have been supporting most of our research, especially in medical areas, have reduced on their funding. Most of these countries which have been giving are now looking inward. So we must put up the socks, and I'm happy to note that the government of His Excellency the President has now invested more. It might not be sufficient for now, but it's a good beginning. It's a good gesture. So we should build on it, and King Ceasor University, you should be preparing yourselves to competitively look at that funding and see how best you can benefit. To the lecturers, I challenge you. It's only in Africa most of where you find a lecturer is receiving 100% of their salary from the university and the investors. When I was a member of the University Council at Makerere for over 10 years, I visited all these top universities from Harvard, Stanford, Michigan State University, Washington State University. I engaged with their leadership. You find the university, they come and negotiate with the professor, and the professor is going to be earning maybe $100,000. The investor will pay $40,000, and the professor must bring in the balance. out of the money you bring in from research projects and all that. Then you get your salary. Now, that makes people to innovate. Because we don't want to be a university of just teaching. Then that's a primary school, that's a secondary school. That how many hours have I taught? No. We want to know which groundbreaking research have you made? You know? How many people have you mentored? Become professors. Otherwise, how will you to grow? In groundbreaking research, to be mentors, and that's the only way we shall have a very lasting impact on society as an academic institution. For graduates, I know you might be asking yourselves now, after here, because you see you've been depending, you told your parents, no, sell your land, sell your goats, take me to school. Yes, now they need you to pay back by looking after them. So you might be saying, what am I going to do? What next? You know, I think it is prudent for me to refer you to the Gospel of John in the Bible, since we are an institution that is based on religious values and respects religious values. And we have a we have a chairman council who narrowly missed being a priest in Dr. Badyomunse. He's a preacher in Parliament. So, and when I was a member of cabinet, you know, he was a preacher of cabinet. So he's very, very good on the Bible. So, in the Bible, Gospel of John, this story which is common to all of you, where a crowd of 5,000 people was hungry and there was nothing to feed them. Only one boy, who is not even mentioned, the name is not mentioned, only one boy had 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And that's what you could offer for 5,000 people. Imagine now you say you're hungry and we say we just have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Yeah? It was even like laughable. But that was the beginning. That's what Jesus got and turned into one of the greatest miracles in the Bible for us believers. And fed 5,000 people, and they had a balance. So it tells you the story of small beginnings, like King Ceasor mentioned. Just small beginnings. You know? Small beginnings. Because now, most of you, especially those who are going to graduate in medicine, you're going to become moving hospitals in your villages. And you'll be hospitals 24/7. In the village, you're a doctor, we own you. You're a hospital, we shall be. If I get headache, we shall run to a doctor. We don't mind whether you have medicine, whether you have diagnosis machines. You're a moving hospital. So use your talents, use that knowledge you've acquired here, turn it into opportunities not only for yourselves but for others. That's the only way you will have impact. And this will only succeed if you're driven by empathy, if you are driven by purpose, if you are driven by kindness, by discipline. Because the Ndugurgundas you see here have created an atmosphere. Their sacrifices, the lives they missed. They missed most of their youthhood, you know. They were in the bush, they were in exile, running in the diaspora, looking to save this country. And the achievements they've registered, the peace we've gotten as a country, to the extent that now we export peace. You know, we young people here, we take these things for granted. You know? But I know there are some from Ceasor. You must be looking across the border. Over 5,000 refugees nearly every day entering into Ceasor. You know? Now we are exporting peace to South Sudan, to DRC, Central African Republic, but these are things we, our generation, are taking for granted. Because we never had such, sugar is bad. That time you had to line up for sugar. So this government has created an atmosphere for you to survive on your own. But also looking at some of the things we don't even think about. When the NRM government, you young people, when the NRM government came to power, the life expectancy was 48 years. Now we are going to 69 years, because of the policies, because of the sacrifices made by people like in the Gurugunda. Now you are able to live longer. The infant mortality rate, kids were dying, but now immunization are on. Now we've even started immunization for malaria for children of 1 to 2 years. I hope parents go back, you support that move, because immunization has helped us to save lives of our young people. So you don't have any reason for failing. But if your intention is to go grumbling, there will always be a reason for grumbling. Say, I don't have a job, I don't have anything. I'm here, I'm a very good example. I'm now number 5 in the hierarchy of government. I had no connection here to Robe for me. No one. I didn't have any political godfather. I washed my hands. I had to go to the Rugundas. And I said, I'm here, I'm clean. I want to serve. Please support me. They assessed and supported me. But now for you, if you go smelling alcohol, smelling cigarettes, with now you have these earpods. You're bouncing with balance, dancing hozambe. Yeah. If that's what is driving you, that's a route. We have also a very safe route for you of going to clubs, bars. You can walk on foot at 4 a.m. and you're very safe. But if you are purpose-driven, you're going to transform this country, you're going to transform yourselves, you're going to transform your families, and you're going to transform King Ceasor University. I congratulate you.
Wow.